Hey, what up, Long Beach? Welcome back to the 562.org. It's Eli, and it's Long Beach Gives Week. Click the link in the description to donate for our biggest fundraiser of the year. And as always, this high school girls volleyball video is brought to you by the fine folks over at Naples Rib Company. And all of our Millikan coverage this year is sponsored by Brian Ramsey and TLD Law. Thank you to our sponsors. We had an early start to Tuesday afternoon's Moore League volleyball matchup between the CIF's top two ranked Moore League teams. A fun coaching duel as well. Jared Akinangok alongside assistant coach Chris leading 25 ranked Poly in the southern section. Meanwhile, it's Coach Antoinette for Millikan at the Rams ranked number 33, looking to climb those rankings today. However, it was Poly with a hotter start for certain. As we head over to the right side, Aaliyah Salim had a lot to do with that hot start, able to slip this one through for the kill. The Jackrabbits then trying to get the middle going, but if you don't succeed at first, try again. Allison Wetland looking like a familiar high jumper out there as they go back to her and she gets it through for the kill. Poly opened the set on a 7-2 run and eventually led it 19-10. McKenna Yamaliava, a familiar face to get used to if you're a Poly fan. As they go back to Yamaliava for the kill, the Jackrabbits found a quick set point as it was 24-13. However, Millikan with some life as Aubrey Green lays one down on the opposite side, looking to get Millikan some energy. And Millikan responded with a 7-0 run to get back in it and force a Poly timeout. Bethany Arnold able to trickle one into the block. Speaking of block, that was one of Millikan's strong points down the middle. Willow LeBron James with the two-hand slam for the Rams. Poly would finally settle down to end the run. They go to Sianale Purcell. Not a slam, but uses two hands to give Poly the first set, 25-20. Looking to get an early start here at Millikan. And through two sets, that 7-0 run in the first really felt like all Millikan had in them. Poly really putting its foot on the gas, spreading the ball around to girls like Sika Talaga. Another girl on that left side was sophomore London Foster. Plenty of mouths to feed at the pins for the Poly offense as they led 19-6 after a dominant 9-point run. Move around to the right side. There's Fosters all over the court. Lauren Foster finds her sister London on the other side for another kill. And what better way to end the set than this? Sika with one of her 3 aces in the game to close it out. That's 25-10 dominant set and a commanding 2-set lead for Poly. However, let the runs begin. Poly very crafty in this second set as Foster dumps it and finds some open room on the court for a kill. Foster then rainbows one over to Yamaliava on the left for the kill. Part of a 5-2 run for Poly, a 3-point lead to open the third. But Millikan finally able to generate some offense in a big way. Parker Brumbelow with a back row beauty to help give her team some energy. Friendly shoves all around after those kills. And then try the left side. It's Arnold over there. Gets the right angle on the swing and she gets a kill as Millikan flips it back and eventually they took a 3-point lead. Also on that left side was junior Natasha Willard, able to stick one in the block and down for the kill. Millikan now led 14-11. They held that lead as LeBron and Cheyenne Lander, the new Lakers duo, gets up for the block. Millikan held that lead until it was 20-15, its biggest of the set. But Poly eventually got back to good old reliable Yamaliava, puts one down for the kill. The Jackrabbits even got a little crafty here as Purcell tucks one into the corner for a Poly point. You ready to see more craftiness coming in this one? And that was part of a 5-0 run for Poly as, boy, it really was arts and crafts out there in the third. A cheeky play from none other than Cheeky Talaga for the kill. Poly hyped as they tie it up 20-20. But the last 5 were a battle won by Millikan. Lila Walters with some tricks up her sleeves as she dumps this one behind her for the point. The Rams would then take the set on this controversial play. Poly upset at the call. They would receive a red card, one of 2 that gave Millikan 2 free points in the fourth, but nonetheless a 25-22 third for the Rams, who are down 2-1 heading into the fourth. And those back and forth runs were a lot smaller in the fourth set, oftentimes even trading point for point as Millikan goes to Arnold for the kill. And when they went back to Arnold, Poly was there. However, Purcell gets her hands up, and they go back to her. Poly able to get the point there. Walters then takes it into her own hands and goes middle of the court dump for those Millikan Rams. However, Poly then gets it back to Yamaliava, bouncing it off the block like a basketball. Here she is again, just using that block on that left side. Poly would lead at 16-14 before a 4-point run from Millikan. The Jackrabbits stayed composed though. Hannah Balungai goes to Wetland down the middle for another Long Beach Poly kill. Lauren Foster then serving, and it's through. This ace put Poly up 22-20, looking to close in on a win and steal this fourth set. But again, The race for the final 5 points was won and dominated by the Rams to close out the fourth. 5 straight points to close out the set as Walters doing it herself all night long with a backdoor dump this time. Really spread it around even when she went for herself. Polly would send one into the net at set point. Don't call it a comeback, but we're headed to a 5th set. The unthinkable after Polly won the first 2, including a 25-10 lopsided second. Way to climb back, and the Millikan fans loving it. Really got a shout out all of the crowd though. Electric all night, and trust me, boy, are they ready to see who can get to 15 first in this 5th. So here we go. Millikan opens the set with 3 straight points as Brumbelow with the Rams point. Like I said, a part of that 3-0 run, but back the other way. 3-point run for Polly. Belungai serving up an ace, trying to keep her Jackrabbits in it early in the 5th set, and it only got better in the 5th set for Polly from there. A 4-point run, including 2 hammers of kills from Purcell, gives Polly an 8-4 lead. Polly then goes outside to Yamaliava to grow that lead, and she puts the hammer down of her own on that left side. Yamaliava led all attackers by a good margin, 18 kills on about 0.2 hitting as she helped Polly get the lead all the way up to a 14-8 lead in the 5th, just smelling the win here at Millikan. Millikan in desperation mode, able to get a pair of kills as Walters goes back to green for the kill. However, too steep of a hill to climb for those Rams. And Polly, the Jackrabbits, able to finish what they started. They win it 25-20, 25-10, 22-25, 22-25, and 15-10 in an absolute playoff atmosphere here at Millikan. Lots of commotion at the end of the match, nothing but respect between the players, however, as they know they will meet again. But like I said, a playoff atmosphere combined with a Polly win means a Polly party on the east side, and we'll be looking forward to that rematch on October 9th. Until then, this week it'll be Polly against Wilson tomorrow, and Millikan will take on Lakewood. And for all of that girls volleyball coverage in the Moore League and in Long Beach, you're in the right spot, the562.org.